Hi everyone, it's Cars Guy Do It Yourself. Is it possible to replace a front wheel bearing hub on your own driveway? Are you curious how to do it in this 6th generation VW Golf? Well, stay with us to find out. The damaged bearing has been located. Before removing the wheel, we need to loosen the center bolt. You'll find the bolt behind this cap with the VW logo. And now, let the magic begin. Now we unscrew the loosened center bolt. We need to unscrew the entire brake caliper mounting. The bolts are located on the back, here, and also here. Let's use a 21mm socket wrench. Great! Now we can carefully remove the whole thing. While being mindful of the flexible brake hose, we will hook the whole thing onto the suspension spring, just like this. Let's remove the brake disc and put it in a safe place. And here is the complete bearing with the hub. It's screwed into place with 4 bolts that are rusty. Therefore, we will use a rust penetrating agent and a wire brush. Thoroughly spray the protruding parts of the bolt, as well as the joint between the housing and the steering knuckle. It's worth leaving it for a while, and then repeating the procedure again. The next element to unscrew is the ball joint. We can unscrew the upper bolt, but it will be very uncomfortable. Or we could unscrew the 3 lower nuts, which have much easier access. We all know which option we're choosing. Let's clean the rust from the threads, then spray them with penetrating fluid and unscrew the nuts. Using a pry bar, separate the control arm from the ball joint. We should be able to remove the CV joint without much hassle. Let's replace the pry bar with a piece of wood like this. Now we have an ideal spot to rest the drive shaft. Unfortunately, there's not enough space. We have to disconnect the steering knuckle from the strut. We disconnect the ABS sensor wire, just like that. We clean another rusty bolt, and as always, we use more penetrating fluid. We unscrew the nut and knock out the bolt. The steering knuckle is clamped onto the strut. By wedging a screwdriver into the back of the knuckle, we should be able to free it. Let's get to work. We unscrew the metal brackets for the ABS brake lines. We'll help ourselves to a hammer, and if that doesn't work, we'll opt for a bigger one instead.
A few moments later.
And there we go, we did it! Of course, we have to pay attention to the still connected tie rod end. Don't ask why we didn't remove it. As you can see, 2 bolts had their head stripped, and 2 came out perfectly. This time, we'll drill out the bolt head with an even larger bit, and have another attempt at hammering the bit. We try unscrew it, and finally, success! Look at that bolt massacre.
Unscrewed that one as well.
We can finally get on with removing the wheel bearing from the steering knuckle. Partially screw in the removed bolts and use a hammer to knock everything out. Nice. We can see it's working, so let's keep going. The bearing's just about to fall out. And there it goes. And this is what a steering knuckle looks like. Alright, it's time to clean up. Sandpaper in hand, let's get working. The hole can be cleaned with a rotating wire brush. Before reassembly, it's a good idea to grease the parts with some anti-seize grease. Then we mount the steering knuckle onto the strut and bolt everything together. With a wire brush and sandpaper, we clean the wheel bearing mounting area. Then we wash off all the loose dirt. Here too, it's worth applying a little bit of anti-seize grease. Install the new bearing and tighten the bolts. At first, we tighten them until the bearing housing touches the knuckle. Then, we fully tighten them using significantly more force or the correct torque. We also grease the spline of the CV joint and insert it into place. Tighten the central bolt. Then secure the metal bracket for wires. Connect the ABS sensor plug. Install the ball joint onto the control arm. And tighten the bolts. We clean the wheel hub, apply a little anti-seize grease, and then mount the brake disc. It's a good idea to rotate the disc to spread the grease evenly, and then tighten the retaining screw. We install the brake caliper along with its bracket, making sure the brake line is not twisted. And tighten the bolts. We install the wheel, then, once the car is lowered, we finally tighten the central bolt. And finally, we can install the wheel cover, but remember to tighten the wheel bolts. After all this work, it may be necessary to do wheel alignment, so drive and observe. If you like it, thumbs up and subscribe. Job done! Thanks for watching.